breath work is one of the only way that I know in life that even after just, sometimes after a handful of sessions, people get insights into who they really are, get rid of some of their unconscious thinking patterns. They get more, they release some of these tensions that are making them feel tired all the time. They complete these relationships that they couldn't have by kind of connecting with people who have passed away, but they never got to complete with them. They can see their past from a different way and really empower themselves to see what their purpose is, to shine their light into the world, and to support others in doing the same. And that's what I've gotten from my own breathwork facilitator with tens of thousands of people that have worked with me online. And that's why I'm so passionate about the training program, so that other people can really bring the same benefits to people in their life and to any other people that, after we train you a little bit, and also how to create your own business too, how to get the word out. It's my passion, and it's my purpose. That's what I really saw through breathwork. That was my mission and purpose in life. What one of my strengths was I can hold a safe space for people to really dive in and do their own work. Yes. The breathing technique that we have is specifically designed for neurodynamic breathwork to allow people to dive into the process. And what's happening is, we have a whole, one of the sessions we'll talk about the science of breathwork. And, the purpose of that is we want you to be able to actually, if someone is interested in breathwork and working with you, we want to be able to work with people who are science-oriented and who are more spiritually oriented. So to explain it to them in from the more spiritual side, and also so you know exactly what's going on scientifically when people do this full deep, faster breathing. And there's a whole explanation behind how it works with your blood. It makes it more alkaline, what's going on, what's happening in your brain, where people who are really science focused can really understand why this works and what's going on. And there's three factors when we talk about all this. One is what's physiologically happening to you, which quiets the ego mind. Also giving yourself permission to release. We talk about how important that is. And the music, and how those three of those things weave together to allow people to have these profound inner experiences. And we train you in that. But the breath itself, it's really just about moving more air through your system. So, and some people, everybody's breath will look a little bit different. And we even say, and this is kind of goes in line with what we say, we want to have people start trusting their inner guidance. And this is really the only breath work that does this. We say, start with this breath technique that we'll train you on for the first 10 or 15 minutes. And after that, trust your body wisdom in terms of how to breathe. And people's breathing changes all the way during the session when they start really trusting themselves and letting life flow through them in the way that it wants to. And their breathing may go quicker, it may go slower, they may hold their breath, they may just stop breathing and be present in this beautiful, breathless space for a while, where you have visuals, where you go into past lives, or sometimes people feel like they're kind of connecting to someone who's passed away, where they can talk to that person and complete a relationship. So this is more designed to do a really, really deep dive into your psyche. So we cover everything that people might experience during the session. We go through the contraindications to make sure that people can experience it safely and dive in as deeply as possible. Then there's the hour breathing, and then there's a share group at the end. That's kind of how it works. Our culture wants us to be victims. Like, for instance, it doesn't want us to be happy. If you were totally happy, the culture in the United States, the economy would collapse, because no one would want to buy the bigger car. No one would want to buy the bigger house. No one would want to buy the bigger TV, because they would go, I don't need that. I can find happiness within. I don't need to have a bigger TV to be happy. I don't need to give my power away to someone else to make me happy. And so all the advertising wouldn't work, where they're basically telling you, you're not happy now, but if you buy my car, yes, you'll be amazingly happy. Or if you buy this house, oh my God, you'll feel so great. People aren't going to, fall for that. I call it hypnosis, really. So in a sense, breathwork is a dehypnosis. We've been hypnotized to believe that basically the outside world has the power to make us happy, and the power to, control our inner emotional states. And you start to see in breathwork No, all of that power lies within, and that we can access it, and it starts to train us to do that. And so the whole thing is around training people. Trust yourself, listen to your body, listen to your inner guidance, bring who you are forth into the world. And that's why so many people get more clarity on their purpose in life and breath work, as they start trusting themselves more and getting underneath why most people don't really think about when they want something in their life. I want to be this, I want to be that, I want to have a family, or I don't. Much of that is culturally conditioned. You grow up in this bubble of cultural conditioning with advertising, with marketing, with seeing how your parents' life is. That's what controls your first 5 or 6 years of your life. And the question is, how do you get underneath that and really see what you want, what's true for you? And, that was part of what, my own process was when I grew up. My father was in a big corporation. He was very, security was very important to him. And he just wanted to have a nice pension and that type of thing. And so that's the pathway that I followed. I became an engineer like him. I joined a big company. But then ultimately, when I got in my 30s, when I started to do my own inner work, I started to say, is this really what I want? Or is this what the culture's telling me? And what I saw was it wasn't at all what I wanted. I wanted to start my own company. I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I wanted to go on a totally different pathway. But I had to start doing my own inner work to find that. And that's why breathwork is so powerful. You start to learn to look deeply into yourself and see, what do you want to contribute to the world? What do you want to bring to the world so that other people can find their own light, can find their own purpose? And that's why Breathwork Facilitator, I'm so passionate about that. I would say yes in two senses. First of all, many people who are therapists have people do a breathwork session and then do therapy afterwards while they're in this open state, and they're much more open to, working with stuff that they might be fearful of expressing, or they're in a much more open-hearted space and willing to be more vulnerable. And also just some of the tools in terms of just allowing, being there for a person. You can use these same tools in therapy, of basically opening up space for people to find their own answers within, instead of kind of, telling them what needs to happen, is a way of really self-empowering people. And it works in every part of life, including therapy, to feel more confident in themselves and to not feel like a victim in life. Do that. And you can use that same structure and concept in therapy to allow people to feel more empowered. Many of these tools will be very, very valuable. And many other programs, they'll say, oh, you can be a breathwork facilitator in a weekend, come do it for 8 hours. Those are dangerous programs. We never advise something like that. If you don't know what you're doing, you can harm someone. And that's part of the reason why we have this really intensive deep dive training program where you're supported, where you're coaches, and also why we have a screening process. We are very careful about the people that we bring into the program. So you can be confident that if you do ultimately, after the discovery call, get an invitation to the program, that there's something that we see in you that we really feel very strongly that you'd be a really good breathwork facilitator. So the basic weekly commitment is, okay, 3 times a month, 4.5 hours, on the Saturdays. Then also once a week, a 2-hour online breathwork session with us. And you figure 2.5, because many times the share circles go over. And about an additional 4 hours a week, maybe, anywhere from, 4 to 5 hours a week with all the other stuff, which is on your own time, basically. Which has to do with connecting with other people, doing your own breathwork sessions, the videos, the homework. That's about it, maybe, another 4 to 5 hours every week. So this, I always encourage you, while you're kind of in this, like feeling this experience, this is right for me, just to go for it and join. If you haven't tried one of our sessions, I really encourage you. With experiential things, we can chit chat all we want, but the only way to really know is to try it out for yourself. Go for it and try one of our sessions. They're amazing. It'll blow you away. Thank you all so much for taking the time out of your day. And Again, much love to you all, and thank you so
Yes.
much for spending your time with us today.